he's dead now. A lot of these other Nazi organizations, they were all Russian nationalists, interestingly enough. The problem is in the 1990s, Moscow didn't do anything with them. They didn't support them. They didn't get support. They got abandoned, and they felt upset. They were hurt, feeling certain. Here comes the West, and they start pumping them full of these other ideas, and they embraced these. They felt like they had been rebuked, or had been let down, or had been betrayed by Russia, and they clung on to this. Arestovich was one of those guys. But what Arestovich is doing is he's been steadily going right back to his old roots. Arestovich, by the way, was the first one of anybody from the Western side that said, look what you're fighting. Those Russian soldiers, those officers that know they're going into a possible suicidal attack to break through, they're going praying to God. We're fighting for the Holy Mother Russia. And forward we go. He's the first one to go, you're fighting a whole different people right now. You're not going to beat them because they're ideologically driven on a different level. This is Soviet ideology. This isn't fighting for the people, or the common people, or the workers. No, this is a religious war. He was one of the first ones from the Western side that started mentioning that. And again, for Bolton, he was being shut up. You can't say that. You can't tell the people that, from that side, it's a holy war. And we're the baddies. So Arestovich, he had to leave Ukraine, and steadily he's going further and further. I mean, he's flat out saying, if you didn't know who he was and you listen to some of his podcasts, you'd say, man, this guy is a Russian nationalist. If you listen to it, and I won't be surprised that in 5 years there's the evening news with Arestovich on some Russian channel. I wouldn't be shocked in the least, to tell the truth. A lot of people have been laughing about this, but it's kind of gallows humor. Hey, it could actually happen. So weirder things have happened.
Well, he's also the one who's often cited because he made the point that back in 2019, you see in the interview as well, where he made the point that the only way to join NATO would be to instigate a war with Russia. And once the war would begin, I mean, he was great at mapping out what would happen, though. He was like 100% correct, exactly where the Russians would go, what they would take. He nailed it down, but he was making a point. But then the NATO will come in and help us defeat the Russians, and that will be, the end of it, a great victory. So that was the price that Ukraine had to pay for NATO membership, he said in 2019 to start a war for Russia.
Yes.
I mentioned that also because today, or 2 days ago, there's a Swiss colonel, former intelligence guy, Jacques Bau, who he cites